In the heart of Central Asia lies a land that for many remains a mere whisper, a name on a map shrouded in mystery: Uzbekistan, a country whose very name might conjure vague images of desert sands and ancient caravans. Yet its true story is far more vibrant, complex, and profound than most could ever imagine. It is a place where empires have risen and fallen, where threads of history are woven into the very fabric of daily life, and where the echoes of the Great Silk Road still resonate in the bustling bazaars and magnificent architecture. For most of the world, it is a blank page, an undiscovered chapter in the grand narrative of our planet. But what if I told you that this nation holds secrets that challenge our understanding of history, geography, and human resilience? What if this seemingly remote country is home to some of the world's most breathtaking architectural wonders and has played a pivotal role in shaping global culture for millennia? The story of Uzbekistan is not one of isolation, but of connection, a crossroads of civilizations that has absorbed and influenced cultures from China to Europe. It's a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, etched in turquoise domes and desert landscapes. Join me as we journey through this extraordinary land. We will uncover stories that will astonish and inspire, peeling back the layers of time to reveal 15 facts about Uzbekistan that are nothing short of mind-blowing. We will travel from ancient cities that predate Rome to the stark realities of modern environmental challenges, discovering a nation that is at once ancient and surprisingly contemporary. Prepare to have your perceptions transformed. Long before many of the great cities of Europe had laid their first stone, urban life was already flourishing here in the sun-drenched plains of Central Asia. Uzbekistan is the custodian of some of the most ancient, continuously inhabited cities on our planet. Places like Samarkand, a contemporary of Babylon and Rome, have been a beacon of learning, art, and commerce for over 2.5 millennia. To walk its streets is to tread on layers of history, each one telling a story of conquest, scholarship, and unimaginable creativity. These were not mere settlements. They were epicenters of human achievement. Imagine a city like Bukhara, so ancient and sacred in the Islamic world that it is known as Bukhara-i-Sharif, or Noble Bukhara. Its historic center, a labyrinth of narrow alleys, mosques, and madrasas, has remained largely unchanged for centuries. It has witnessed the passage of countless scholars, poets, and traders who found refuge and inspiration within its sun-baked walls. These cities were the jewels of the Silk Road, magnets for the greatest minds and wealthiest merchants of their age. And their legacy is not confined to museums. It is alive, breathed by the people who call these timeless places home. And then there is Khiva, an almost perfectly preserved city museum, its inner fortress, Ichankala, encircled by mighty mud walls. Stepping through its gates is like entering a portal to another era, a time of khans and caravanserai. The sheer antiquity of these urban centers is staggering. They are not ruins, but living monuments, a testament to the resilience of civilizations that have thrived in this pivotal part of the world for thousands of years, offering us a direct, tangible connection to our shared human past. Our world is intricately connected by vast oceans, which have shaped trade, climate, and the course of history. Most nations have a coastline, a gateway to these global waters. Some, however, are landlocked, surrounded entirely by other countries. But Uzbekistan presents a geographical curiosity that is far rarer, a puzzle of borders and territory. It is one of only 2 double landlocked countries on Earth, the other being the diminutive Liechtenstein in Europe. This is a distinction of profound isolation and geopolitical significance. But what does it mean to be double landlocked? It means that to reach any ocean or sea, a person or a product from Uzbekistan must cross the borders of not just one, but at least 2 other sovereign nations. Every one of its neighbors, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Turkmenistan, is itself landlocked. This creates a unique set of challenges, particularly for trade and economic development. Access to global maritime routes is indirect, dependent on complex agreements and relationships with its neighbors. This geographical isolation has shaped the nation's character and its history in subtle but powerful ways. It has fostered a deep-seated reliance on terrestrial trade routes, a legacy stretching back to the Silk Road. It underscores the critical importance of diplomacy and regional cooperation. While modern air travel can bypass these terrestrial constraints, the reality of moving goods and resources remains a complex logistical dance. It is a stark reminder that on our planet, geography is not just about landscapes, it is about destiny. A city's skyline tells a story, a narrative written in concrete, steel, and stone. In Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, that story is a dramatic tale of two contrasting worlds colliding and coexisting. Here, the elegant, intricate forms of Islamic architecture stand in a fascinating dialogue with the monumental, often austere structures of the Soviet era. This is not simply a collection of buildings. It is a physical manifestation of the nation's turbulent 20th century history, a visual journey through ideology and identity. A devastating earthquake in 1966 leveled much of the old city. The reconstruction that followed was a massive undertaking, orchestrated by the Soviet Union. Architects and workers from across the USSR descended upon Tashkent, and in its place rose a model Soviet city. Wide tree-lined boulevards, vast public squares, and imposing government buildings defined the new landscape. Brutalist structures and concrete apartment blocks, designed for efficiency and uniformity, became the city's new face, a symbol of centralized power and a modern secular future envisioned by Moscow. Yet, woven into this grand Soviet tapestry are the enduring threads of a much older identity. Hidden in the old town, or mahallas, one can still find traditional courtyard houses. The Chorsu Bazaar, with its enormous turquoise dome, evokes the grandeur of ancient marketplaces. And perhaps most strikingly, the Tashkent Metro, a subterranean art gallery where each station is a unique masterpiece, blends Soviet-era mosaics and reliefs with motifs drawn from Islamic art and Uzbek folklore. This architectural duality makes Tashkent a unique urban environment, a place where history is not erased, but layered. In the arid landscapes of Central Asia, one crop has dominated the economy and, shaped the destiny of the nation for over a century. It is a plant that requires immense amounts of water, a precious commodity in this dry region. Yet its fluffy white bolls have been so valuable that it earned a moniker of great worth: white gold. This is cotton. For Uzbekistan, cotton is not just an agricultural product. It's woven into the very fabric of its modern history, its culture, and its, complex relationship with the environment. The story of Uzbekistan's cotton boom is inextricably linked to the Soviet era. Moscow designated the Uzbek SSR as its primary cotton plantation, transforming vast swathes of land to feed the insatiable appetite of Soviet textile mills. A system of quotas and centralized planning was imposed, fundamentally altering the traditional agricultural practices of the region. For decades, the entire economic and social structure was geared towards the production of this single cash crop, making Uzbekistan one of the world's leading cotton producers. This intense focus on white gold came at a tremendous cost. The diversion of the two great rivers that fed the Aral Sea, the Amu Darya and Sia Darya, to irrigate the thirsty cotton fields led to one of the greatest ecological disasters of our time. Furthermore, the legacy of the state-controlled harvest has been complex, involving social and labour issues that the country is still working to address. Today, As Uzbekistan diversifies its economy, the role of cotton is changing, but its profound impact on the landscape, the people, and the nation's identity remains undeniable. For centuries, the world was connected not by satellites and fiber optics, but by a network of perilous and dusty trails. A fragile thread of commerce and ideas that stretched from the heart of China to the shores of the Mediterranean. This was the Great Silk Road, and Uzbekistan was not merely a stop along the way, it was its very heart. The arteries of this legendary trade route pulsed through its territory, and the cities of Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva were its magnificent beating chambers. The flow of goods along this route was staggering. Silk, the precious fabric that gave the road its name, traveled west, while gold, silver, glass, and wool moved east. But the true wealth of the Silk Road was not just in its material goods. It was a conduit for knowledge, art, religion, and philosophy. Buddhism, Nestorian Christianity, and later Islam traveled with the caravans, finding fertile ground in the cosmopolitan cities of Uzbekistan. Scientific ideas, from astronomy to mathematics, were exchanged and refined in the great academies that flourished here. This constant influx of people, cultures, and innovations created a unique melting pot. The art, architecture, and even the genetics of the Uzbek people were shaped by this extraordinary period of global exchange. Walking through a bazaar in Bukhara today, one can still feel the echoes of that time. The diversity of faces, the kaleidoscope of goods, the hum of commerce that has persisted for millennia. The Silk Road may no longer exist as a single route, but its legacy is imprinted on the soul of Uzbekistan, a nation forever defined by its role as the world's crossroads. In the rich tapestry of global cuisine, some dishes are more than just sustenance. They're a ritual, a celebration, and the centerpiece of communal life. In Uzbekistan, that dish is plov. Known locally as osh, this hearty, aromatic preparation of rice, meat, carrots, and onions is unequivocally the national dish, a culinary symbol that binds the nation together. To understand Uzbekistan, one must understand plov, for it's served at every significant life event, from births and weddings to funerals and, honestly, even friendly gatherings. The preparation of plov is an art form, often a theatrical event in itself. It's traditionally cooked by men, often in enormous cauldron-like pans called kazans, over an open fire. The process is meticulous, with specific techniques for layering the ingredients to ensure the rice steams to perfection, absorbing the rich flavors of the meat and vegetables. Each region boasts its own variation. Samarkand plov is distinct from Tashkent plov or Fergana plov, sparking friendly rivalries and passionate debates about which recipe reigns supreme. But beyond its delicious taste, plov embodies the Uzbek spirit of hospitality. To be invited to share plov is a gesture of great respect and friendship. It's a dish designed for sharing, eaten from a communal platter, reinforcing social bonds and a sense of belonging. In 2016, UNESCO recognized the culture and tradition of plov as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, cementing its status not just as a meal, but as a vital cultural practice, a warm, fragrant expression of Uzbek identity. When one thinks of Uzbekistan, images of ancient caravans and slow desert journeys often come to mind. But, to hold on to that image is to miss one of the most surprising aspects of the modern nation, its embrace of cutting-edge technology in transportation. Contrasting with its ancient landscapes is a state-of-the-art, high-speed rail network. Sleek, bullet-nosed trains now glide across the very same steps that were once traversed by camels, connecting the nation's major historical cities with remarkable speed and efficiency. This is the Afro-Ciob, a high-speed train based on the Spanish Talgo design. It can reach speeds of up to 250 kilometers per hour, dramatically reducing travel times between the capital, Tashkent, and the Silk Road jewels of Samarkand and Bukhara. A journey that once took many hours by road or conventional train can now be completed in a fraction of the time, in comfort and style. This is not a futuristic plan, it is a reality, a service that has been operating and expanding for years. The existence of this network is a powerful statement about modern Uzbekistan. It signifies a commitment to infrastructure, a desire to facilitate both tourism and domestic travel, and a vision that looks as much to the future as it does to the past. It allows a visitor to have breakfast in the Soviet-influenced capital of Tashkent and lunch amidst the Timurid splendors of Samarkand. It is a striking symbol of a nation on the move, bridging its vast distances and connecting its ancient past with a fast-paced future. In an age of mass production, the work of the human hand holds a special kind of magic. In Uzbekistan, this magic is not a relic of the past. It is a vibrant, living tradition. The country has a profoundly rich heritage of handicrafts, skills passed down through countless generations of masters, or ustos. From the world-renowned blue ceramics of Rishtan to the intricate silk embroideries of Bukhara, these crafts are not mere souvenirs. They are the artistic soul of the nation made tangible. The artistry is, honestly, just breathtaking in its diversity. In the Fergana Valley, the potters of Rishtan continue to create their distinctive earthenware, glazed in brilliant shades of turquoise and lapis lazuli, using local clays and natural pigments derived from plants. In Margilan, the air hums with the rhythmic clatter of looms as artisans weave ikat silk, a complex and laborious process of tie-dyeing the threads before weaving, resulting in fabrics with stunningly blurred, cloud-like patterns known as aberbandi. These are not dyeing arts. There is a concerted effort within Uzbekistan to preserve and revitalize these traditions. Families of artisans continue to guard their unique techniques, passing them from parent to child. Workshops and craft centers are thriving, welcoming visitors to witness the incredible skill and patience required. To hold a piece of Uzbek handicraft, be it a hand-carved wooden box, a finely woven carpet, or a piece of lustrous pottery, is to hold a piece of history, a story of artistry and cultural pride that continues to unfold. Our planet has borne witness to many environmental tragedies, but honestly, few are as stark, as rapid, and as visually shocking as the fate of the Aral Sea. Once the fourth largest inland body of water in the world, a vast expanse of blue straddling the border of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, it has now all but vanished. This is not a natural phenomenon. It is one of the world's most catastrophic man-made ecological disasters. A cautionary tale written on a vast and desiccated seabed. The tragedy began in the 1960s, a direct consequence of the Soviet Union's monumental ambition to transform the Central Asian desert into a cotton-producing powerhouse. The two great rivers that fed the Aral, the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya, were diverted on a massive scale to irrigate the thirsty cotton fields. Starved of its lifeblood, the sea began to shrink. Year by year, the water receded, leaving behind a toxic desert of salt and sand, laced with pesticides and chemical fertilizers from the surrounding farmland. The consequences have been devastating. A once thriving fishing industry, which employed tens of thousands of people, collapsed completely. The town of Moynak in Uzbekistan, formerly a bustling port, now lies dozens of kilometers from the water's edge, its fishing boats rusting in a sea of sand. A surreal and heartbreaking ship graveyard. The disaster has also altered the regional climate, creating hotter summers, colder winters, and toxic dust storms that plague the health of the local population. The story of the Aral Sea is a powerful and sobering lesson on the profound and often irreversible consequences of humanity's actions on the natural world. There are places on Earth that, just seem to defy description, where the scale, beauty, and history are so overwhelming that they simply silence the observer. The Registan in Samarkand is absolutely one of those places. This isn't merely a public square, it's an architectural ensemble of such breathtaking majesty that, honestly, it's been called the noblest square in the world. For centuries, it was the heart of the ancient city of Samarkand, a centre for royal proclamations, public ceremonies, and scholarly life. And today, it stands as the crowning jewel of Islamic architecture in Central Asia. The ensemble consists of 3 magnificent madrasas, or Islamic schools, that face each other across a vast open plaza. On the west is the Ulugbek Madrasa, the oldest, built by the great astronomer king himself in the 15th century. Facing it is the Sherdor, or lion-bearing, madrasa, famous for its controversial mosaics depicting 2 tiger-like creatures, which, you might know, actually defy the Islamic prohibition on the depiction of living beings. Dominating the north is the Tilya Kori, or gilded, madrasa, whose mosque interior is a jaw-dropping spectacle of gold leaf. To stand in the Registan as the sun sets, casting a golden glow on the colossal portals, the fluted turquoise domes, and the intricate tile work, is honestly an experience that borders on the spiritual. The sheer harmony of the proportions, the richness of the colours, and the exquisite detail of the mosaics and calligraphy all speak of an empire at the very zenith of its power and artistic expression. It's more than just a historical site, it's a masterpiece of human creativity, a place that truly embodies the legendary grandeur of the Silk Road. A nation's language is, well, the DNA of its culture, and its script is the vessel that carries it through time. In Uzbekistan, this vessel has, you could say, undergone a series of remarkable transformations, reflecting the seismic political and cultural shifts of the 20th century. The story of the Uzbek language and its written form is a fascinating journey through 3 different alphabets, a linguistic odyssey that is almost unique in the modern world and speaks volumes about the nation's search for identity. For centuries, the Uzbek language, a Turkic tongue, was written using a modified Arabic script, a legacy of the region's deep Islamic heritage. This connected the people to a vast literary and religious tradition spanning the wider Muslim world. However, in the 1920s, as part of the Soviet Union's policy to modernize and secularize its Central Asian republics, a shift was mandated to a Latin-based alphabet. This was a deliberate attempt to break from the Islamic past and align with what was seen as a more progressive, international script. But this change was short-lived. By 1940, under Stalin's rule, another dramatic switch was enforced. The Latin alphabet was replaced by a modified Cyrillic script, the same alphabet used for Russian. This move was designed to bind Uzbekistan and other Soviet republics more tightly to Moscow, facilitating Russification and isolating them from the Turkic-speaking world outside the USSR. Following independence in 1991, Uzbekistan embarked on a gradual process of returning to a Latin-based script, a move symbolic of its renewed sovereignty and a desire to reorient itself on the world stage. This complex history is still visible today, with Cyrillic and Latin scripts often coexisting on signs, documents, and publications. A country is defined not only by its monuments and landscapes, but really by the spirit of its people. And in Uzbekistan, that spirit is one of extraordinary warmth, generosity, and hospitality. It's a culture where the guest is held in the highest esteem, a tradition rooted in ancient Silk Road customs, where weary travellers were welcomed and cared for. This deep-seated graciousness is, honestly, one of the most enduring impressions visitors take away from the country, a genuine human connection that transcends language barriers. This warmth finds its most vibrant expression in the nation's bazaars. These are not simply places to shop, they are the pulsating social hearts of every city and town. A walk through a market like the Chorsu Bazaar in Tashkent or the Siab Bazaar in Samarkand is a full sensory immersion. The air is thick with the scent of spices, baking bread, and freshly grilled kebabs. The sound is a symphony of vendors calling out their wares, the friendly haggling of customers, and the general hum of community life. Here, among the mountains of colourful spices, pyramids of fresh fruits, and stalls laden with nuts, sweets, and local cheeses, one truly feels the pulse of Uzbekistan. Vendors are quick to offer a smile, a free sample of their produce, or to engage in a friendly chat. It is in these bustling, chaotic, and wonderfully human spaces that the legendary hospitality of the Uzbek people comes to life, offering a glimpse into a culture where community and generosity are cherished above all else. Some places are of such profound cultural or natural importance that they are considered to belong to all of humanity. These are the sites inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List, and Uzbekistan is a custodian of several of these irreplaceable treasures. The presence of these sites is a powerful testament to the nation's immense contribution to the story of human civilization, recognizing their outstanding universal value and the need to protect them for future generations. The list is a roll call of its most celebrated historical centers. The entire historic heart of Bukhara, a city that has been a hub of commerce and Islamic scholarship for over a millennium, is recognized as one cohesive site. So too is the Ichin Kala, the walled inner city of Khiva, a remarkably intact example of a Central Asian trading town from a bygone era. These are not isolated monuments, but complete living urban landscapes that have been deemed worthy of preservation. Samarkand, with the subtitle Crossroads of Cultures, is another jewel in Uzbekistan's UNESCO crown, celebrated for its architectural masterpieces from the Timurid dynasty, including the legendary Registan. And beyond the cities, the western Tian Shan Mountains, which Uzbekistan shares with its neighbours, are recognised for their exceptional biodiversity and stunning natural beauty. These designations shine an international spotlight on Uzbekistan's incredible heritage, reinforcing its status as a land of globally significant wonders, both man-made and natural. While the treasures of the Silk Road, the silks, spices, and ceramics, are the stuff of legend, Uzbekistan's soil holds another kind of wealth, one that has shaped its modern economy. The country is endowed with a vast and diverse array of natural resources, riches that lie hidden beneath its deserts and mountains. This subterranean fortune, including significant deposits of gold, uranium, and natural gas, plays a crucial role in the nation's economic landscape and its position on the global stage. Uzbekistan is home to the Muruntau mine, which by some estimates is one of the largest open-pit gold mines in the entire world. For decades, this single mine has been a colossal source of wealth, making Uzbekistan a top 10 global gold producer. The sheer scale of this operation is difficult to comprehend, a man-made canyon carved into the earth in the pursuit of this precious metal. This real gold has provided a vital stream of revenue for the country, particularly in the years following its independence. Beyond gold, the country holds some of the world's most significant uranium reserves, a critical component for the nuclear power industry. It is also a major producer of natural gas, which it both consumes domestically and exports to its neighbours. This natural resource wealth gives Uzbekistan a degree of economic leverage and strategic importance. It is a reminder that the country's value is not only in its past glories, but also in the very ground upon which those glories were built. For many years, the wonders of Uzbekistan felt distant, shielded from the outside world by a combination of geography and complex visa policies. It was a destination reserved for the most intrepid of travelers. However, in recent years, a remarkable transformation has been taking place. The country has thrown open its doors, embarking on a new era of openness and making it easier and more welcoming for visitors to experience its treasures than ever before. This change has been swift and decisive. The government has introduced simplified e-visa systems and visa-free travel for citizens of many countries, removing one of the biggest hurdles for potential tourists. This policy shift signals a clear intention to share the nation's incredible heritage with the world and to develop tourism as a key pillar of the national economy. The result has been a surge of interest in this once overlooked destination. This new openness extends beyond just visas. There has been a significant investment in tourist infrastructure, from the development of hotels and guest houses to the improvement of transport links like the high-speed train. English is becoming more widely spoken in tourist centres, and there is a palpable sense of excitement and welcome for the new influx of visitors. For those who have dreamed of following in the footsteps of Marco Polo, there has never been a better or easier time to discover the magic of Uzbekistan. The gates to the Silk Road are well and truly open. We have journeyed through a land of staggering antiquity and surprising modernity, from cities that were ancient when Rome was young to the sleek, high-speed trains that now cross its deserts. We have seen the ghosts of the Aral Sea and the golden splendor of the Registan. Uzbekistan is a country of profound contrasts and deep history, a place that challenges perceptions and rewards the curious with stories and sights found nowhere else on Earth. Its narrative is a vital part of our shared human story, a testament to resilience, artistry, and the enduring power of connection across cultures. The story, of course, does not end here. We have only scratched the surface of what this incredible nation has to offer. Now, I turn the question to you. Of all the facets of Uzbekistan we have explored, which one surprised you the most? Was it the geographical curiosity of being double landlocked, the monumental scale of its Soviet architecture, or the quiet tragedy of the vanished sea? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would be fascinated to read them. Perhaps this journey has ignited a spark of curiosity, a desire to see these wonders for yourself. If you are seeking an adventure that is truly off the beaten path, one that combines unparalleled history with genuine, heartfelt hospitality, then perhaps you should consider Uzbekistan for your next travel destination. It is a journey that promises not just to show you new places, but to offer you a new perspective. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If you enjoyed this documentary, please consider subscribing for more journeys to the most fascinating corners of our world.